If you have been watching my Jojo videos, you may have been hearing about the Jorge Joestar novel written by Otaro Maijo. I'm actually a big fan of this novel and the different powers and abilities it added to the Comp Jojo verse. So let's look at the ultimate stands that are exclusive to the novel. Warning, spoilers up to Jojo Part 7 Steel Ball Run, and spoilers on the aforementioned novel Jorge Joestar. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more JoJo content. Before we actually start the list, an ultimate stand is a stand mimicked by Cars in the Jorge Joestar novel. He has encounters with multiple villains from the other canon parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, allowing him to obtain some of their respective abilities. It's also worth noting that about half the novel takes place in the 37th universe, and for clarity, anyone past Part 6 and introduced to the new canon JoJo universe starting in Part 7, that is considered the second universe. U-Boat Ultimate. Starting off with a non-canon stand that one would only know if they read this novel, and actually one of my favorite non-canon stands due to its usage and the user. Narancha Gurga of the 37th universe has the stand U-Boat instead of Aerosmith. A stand that is a fleet of submarines that can dive and travel through human bodies and stands, can be transferred to a target's body via bodily fluids, fires projectiles from the user's body, protects the user by tanking blows, and the fleet can fuse into a bigger submarine the size of a building and carry the user and others through the air and even the vacuum of space. In the novel, Naranja puts one of his submarines in Cars, who grabs and dismantles the stand. Jorge Joestar explains what stands are to Cars, who subsequently manifests his own version of U-Boat, creating U-Boat Ultimate. The upgrade? Cars version appears more advanced than the original, and the ultimate version is capable of hurting a target with sound via the submarine's sonar echoing through their body. Whitesnake Ultimate. My favorite villain in fiction, Enrico Pucci, appears in Jorge Joestar. He also uses his stand Whitesnake on Cars. Friendly reminder for my Part 6 readers and watchers, Whitesnake has the ability to cast illusions as well as take disc from its target. Usually 2 discs, one being for memory and the other being for the target stand. Pucci's Whitesnake uses this ability on Cars, but to Pucci's surprise, a seemingly endless fountain of disc is seen spilling out of Cars' head, and without rendering him unconscious like it does for those with only 2. Cars suddenly understands how Whitesnake works and makes his own version, Whitesnake Ultimate. Whitesnake Ultimate didn't show us the possible upgraded version of Whitesnake's illusion creation, but it did show us the upgraded disc ability. Cars is able to make copies of stand disc and give those who have no stand an already established stand. Cars gives George a copy of U-Boat Ultimate and it causes his body to explode, but Cars saves him by reassembling him and gives him a powered down copy of the stand. Both the copying ability as well as controlling the power of the stand disc are new abilities that OG Whitesnake was not shown capable of in canon JoJo. The World Ultimate. The stand The World has the ability to stop time. The world's user Dio is one of the main 2 villains of the Jorge Joestar novel, except he is an ultimate life form just like Cars. A major part of the battle against Dio is Dio versus Cars. During this fight, Dio uses the world and Funny Valentine, and his grandson, the Funniest Valentine, who both use D4C in conjunction with the world's time stop to send Cars to a parallel world just as Cars claims to understand how the world works. Cars come back and copies the world from Dio, gaining the World Ultimate. The World Ultimate is speculated to be able to stop time for longer than an hour, unlike the 11 seconds max that its canon counterpart is limited to. This being due to the fact that the ultimate lifeform Dio's The World was already capable of stopping time for an hour before Cars made the ultimate version. Sea Moon Ultimate. First off, if you don't know, Sea Moon can control gravity. In canon, it made its user Enrico Pucci the center of the ability, and gravity is changed to pushing outward from him within a 3-kilometer range, or a little under 2 miles. If you read or watched Part 5 JoJo, you will see the stand Gold Experience get stabbed by the stand arrow and evolve into Gold Experience Requiem. Now, if you watch my 6 Power Systems in JoJo video, you will have been introduced to Wounds, a power exclusive to the Jorge Joestar novel. But furthermore, in Jorge Joestar, the phenomenon that happens when the stand arrow evolves a stand happens via the stand receiving a wound, as in the actual power from the novel. And that's exactly what's shown in the Jorge Joestar novel, except it's used to evolve Whitesnake Ultimate into Sea Moon Ultimate Requiem, unlike the canon method, which Whitesnake evolved into Sea Moon, which involved Pucci fusing Whitesnake with the Green Baby in Part 6 JoJo Stone Ocean. Amidst the Cars and Dio fight, Dio stabs Whitesnake Ultimate with the stand arrow, causing the evolution. Sea Moon Ultimate Requiem is stated to be able to control gravity like Pucci's Sea Moon, however the assumed upgraded abilities are not shown due to what happens next. Ultimate D4C. After Dio stabs Whitesnake Ultimate with the stand arrow, Cars attempts to send Dio to a parallel universe using Ultimate D4C, which he more than likely understood and acquired when Funny and the Funniest were attacking him. However, before he can use its ability on Dio, who is in bits and pieces from an explosion caused by Cars via Whitesnake Ultimate shoving his endless disc into Dio, Dio's pieces flies away, stealing Sea-Moon Ultimate from Cars as he ascends. Similarly to Sea-Moon Ultimate Requiem, we do not see the upgraded abilities that Ultimate D4C has over the original D4C's parallel world traveling abilities. By the way, D4C stands for Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, in case anyone didn't read JoJo Part 7 Steel Ball Run. Made in Heaven Ultimate Requiem. The top stand of my favorite villain in fiction is Made in Heaven, and it has the ability to accelerate time. In a clear recreation of how Pucci was rising into the sky and pushed into the perfect coordinates to evolve Sea-Moon into Made in Heaven, Dio uses the other main antagonist of the Jorge Joestar novel, Antonio Torres, to pull him into the correct spot to start the evolution. Sea-Moon Ultimate Requiem turns into Made in Heaven Ultimate Requiem. Made in Heaven Ultimate Requiem has shown faster and more precise time acceleration than its canon counterpart. Dio was able to use it to speed through the universes to get back to the second universe, where Part 7 and further takes place, to obtain the Holy Corpse parts, and also uses it to speed up time only outside of England. Honorable mention goes to the Bound Dune Ultimate. Not a stand, so it didn't make the main list. Bounds like Wounds and Ultimate stands are exclusive to the novel Jorge Joestar. There's one Bound shown in the novel, and that's Dune. Cars encountered its user Soundman at one point in the novel, and during the fight with Dio introduces Dune Ultimate, showing he can copy stands and Bounds. Light Novel Cars is broken. Tell me how you guys feel in the comments about these Ultimate stands. Let me know if you've read the novel and I missed an ultimate ability by Cars. Also, let me know what video you want to see next. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more JoJo content.